Shalom. Call all Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops at Great Millstone that taught us this truth, the 100% truth, that rule well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, and that will be the men of the Lord that's on these highways and the byways preaching this truth, which will be the 144,000 prophets today. And also that great multitude of men, women, and children, and the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, we are, according to the Holy Scriptures, we are the true Hebrew Israelites. And this is your brother Dawadah coming with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be straight to the point. Pretty much I entitled this lesson, Esau is through. And there's a lot of videos going around now, on I think TikTok or Instagram or, what I'm saying, pretty much where these devils, they crashing out. You know what I'm saying? They know that their kingdom is going down, But if you realize, we're only getting stronger, you know what I'm saying? And Esau is basically losing his mind. And by the way, if you don't know who Esau is the self-proclaimed so-called white man, woman, and children today. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know, I'll let you know. Well, I'm going to let you know who he is. And his biblical name is Esau. You know what I'm saying? Because 2/3 of our people try to make it seem like everything is good between, the white race and the black race, which that's not no nationality anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's two colors out of the crayon box. So there's no such thing as a nationality as a black and white, But that's how the devil deceived our people, man. You know what I'm saying? But what our people trying to do now is, or what Esau is trying to do now is trying to play the victim and trying to make it seem like all the stuff that they did to our people, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to brush things under the rug, you know what I'm saying? And they never done anything to us, And mainly our people is trying to do that. They're trying to say, they want to, say, we forgive you. That was the past, don't worry about it. Well, the Most High requires the past, you know what I'm saying? So everything you devils has done to us, you're going to get back double, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to drink that cup, So you can try to hide all you want to, you know what I'm saying? You could try to say, well, that wasn't me. That was my forefathers. Haven't done nothing to you. I never haven't done nothing to your nation. You know what I'm saying? But your people was going to be judged. You know what I'm saying? For doing all this heinous, wicked acts towards the Israelites. And you want to know who the Most High chosen people is? God chosen people? Is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Isaiah 14 and 21, because they always try to say, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. That was my forefathers. I wasn't there during that time. You know what I'm saying? Well, Esau, if it was 4 people in the car, all Esau men, and y'all do a heinous crime or, rob a bank, do they think you're going to just only take 2 of them? You know what I'm saying? We're just going to take the first 2 that was in the car, 2 in the back seat. No, they won't be, they won't be charged or anything. No, all 4 of you, because y'all all robbed the bank. Well, you also guilty too. with this cause. And the Most High he judges by nations. You know what I'm saying? So let's read this. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Yeah. So like it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. So you see, Esau always trying to make it seem like, I don't have anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I was not there. That was my forefathers, you know? But since your forefathers went off, and since our forefathers went off, to this day, we're suffering. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why we were put in, into slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's why, the Africans sold, the Africans sold us to you, the Grecians. You know what I'm saying? You devils. You know what I'm saying? The Arabs, they made that good ship Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got over here. So we're suffering from, our forefathers, being disobedient to Yahweh Shem Shai, not following the law, statute, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? In captivity after captivity. So we're suffering from that. So if your forefathers have done, crazy, wicked acts like cutting, the babies out of, cutting the babies out of our women womb, you know what I'm saying, putting cats in their wombs, stitching them up, you know what I'm saying, feeding our babies to alligators, you know what I'm saying, doing all kind of crazy stuff, man. And the list goes on, you know what it says, and fathers that they do not rise nor possess the land. Yeah. So since you came back to power during the Renaissance, you know what I'm saying, which that word Renaissance means rebirth, that's all you've been doing is building everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And you can see it, man. You can see it. Let's get Malachi chapter 1. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. And what does it say? It says, whereas Edom said, we are in Proverbs, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of the wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, have indignation forever. You know what I'm saying? And like it says, whereas in Edom said, we are in Proverbs, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Yeah. And this is the pride of Esau. Won't stop building, But Yahweh Shem Shai is going to throw all that down. Everything you build. And you can know, and you see it now. They steady building, they steady building all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Amusement parks, you know what I'm saying? Houses, in the residential areas, businesses, you know what I'm saying, strip malls, and they steady building, but the economy is not good. The economy is steady falling, you know what I'm saying? But they're steady building. But you know what? You can keep on doing that, Esau, because the Most High said he's gonna throw all that down. You know what I'm saying? And he said they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai have in the nation forever. Yeah, because Esau, he always going around to these other countries, man, stealing their resources, putting sanctions on them, on these other countries, threatening them if they don't, do right after they didn't sign the contract, comes back and renege on, what he discussed with them and everything. You know what I'm saying? Charging them, interest, on top of interest, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't follow what they say do, he puts sanctions on them, you know what I'm saying? Cuts them off, But you know what? Esau, you gonna reap all that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they call him the border of wickedness. And the Most High have indignation forever, you know what I'm saying, towards these devils, you know what I'm saying? Which will be righteous anger, you know what I'm saying? That word means righteous anger. So Esau, you're not gonna get away from, whatever you done, in the past, and to this day, you still doing it, and that's the problem, you know what I'm saying? Esau always kind of try to say, well, The Most High don't hate. He loves all of us. No, he loves the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He don't love you devils, you so-called white people that's trying to pretend like y'all, goody two-shoe and y'all ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff that y'all done, because y'all went overboard. Now, we had other nations had us in slavery, but they didn't do the stuff that y'all did. Y'all just took it further, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? You're gonna pay for all that. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world with cities. Yeah, it said, nor fill the faces of the world with cities. So Esau, your time is up, man. Like I said again, you can pretend that everything is good between, you know what I'm saying, the so-called black people and the white people, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everything that you have done, you're going to reap, and it's right around the corner. You can see it. Things are all this stuff that's going over in Iran, you can see it. So you can keep on trying, you know what I'm saying, to deceive people, but you can't, Let's go to Galatians 6 and 7, you know what I'm saying? It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Yeah. So you can think, like I said again, deceiving, you can't deceive Yahweh Shema Shai. You can't mock the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He got you in the trick bag. And all the sins that you committed against the children of Israel, you know what I'm saying? Which is, like I say again, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, those sins have reached up to heaven. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And continuing to do it until this day. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to reap everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide. You can't hide. That's what you've been doing. You've been trying to hide. And it's going to be like, when Yahweh Shema Shai come back, like Isaiah 63 and 1, man, the blood is going to be high up on this. You know what I'm saying? And you can look that verse up, but it's going to be crazy. So everything that you have done, you know what I'm saying? You're going to receive this. And this is the last verse I'm going to close on. You know what I'm saying? For all your wickedness that you have done to us. And we ain't forgot about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. And he that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. Yeah. And who did you leave in captivity? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. James 1 and 1. We were spread throughout the four corners of this earth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody went into slavery and everything. Just not y'all. No, we went into, you know what I'm saying, hardcore slavery. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was in furtitude slavery. It wasn't slavery. You know what I'm saying? Y'all own people put y'all in slavery. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Yeah. And you still doing that to this day. You know what I'm saying? Killing Jake. You know what I'm saying? Almost, every 28 hours or so. You know what I'm saying? You just gunning down Jake, man. So it's nothing different from the ancient time until now. You know what I'm saying? And here's the patience and here's the faith of the saints. Yeah. Because we patiently wait, you know what I'm saying, for Yahweh Shema Shai to come back and destroy this place, man. For Yahweh to send, our big brother Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, to destroy this place, because this place need to go, man. It's nothing but wickedness going on here. Now these spirits is getting revved up. And Esau, like I said again, this is what's going to happen to you. You lead a nation into captivity, you go into captivity. So I want to end with that. So Esau, you through. You crashing out each and every day, and we see it on these videos. And now you complaining like a little bee, you know what I'm saying? But we only getting stronger day by day. So I want to say, I hope this was edifying. I want to say Shalom, I want to say call all y'all by Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, that taught us His truth, the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the occupant on the four corners of this earth, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways, and to you brothers and sisters tuning in edification. Shalom.